I converted Magic Chef brand mini fridge. I think this one was 4.4 cubic feet. It was the one at Home Depot. I got it used on, found it on Craigslist, so it's dinged up, but I don't care. Removed this panel. We had to do a bit of arranging because the interior, size of this one is not really conducive to two cornies being in here. But I was able to do it by removing some foam and arranging things a certain way. So as you can see here, I had to remove some foam here for this keg. I do have to have it arranged so that this front here, this is open part here, because there's a big chunk of metal right at that point, go figure, that is making it so I can't close the door. But we got that. Second keg here. This keg, I was kind of lucky in that it's actually got a flat side. And it fits perfectly underneath a piece of metal that's installed here in what would be the freezer compartment. So as you can see, when I put it in like that, the bottom lip here goes right underneath that piece of metal, and I'm able to really jam it in the corner. Those two things are how I'm able to shut the door very easily. I don't have to press on it really hardly at all. But as you can see, I had to remove foam here and here for that keg in the corner. I also removed all the side pieces where the shelves are supposed to go in. And you can see over here I did that on this side as well, because even though it was only, what is that, maybe like 1/4 of an inch or so, it was making it so it was impossible to fit the keg in there completely. I bent down the freezer compartment. It's actually the only cooling element really in this type of fridge, making sure to be really careful about these connections and pipes here. Make sure I didn't kink them or bend them, so should work out just fine. The CO2 tank here is in the back. I have to put it this way because to move it over here was making it so that this keg sat just, a fraction of an inch too far forward, so then it made the door difficult again to close. Like I said, this is like 4.4 cubic feet mini fridge. I would recommend, if you're going to do this project, find one a little bit bigger. I mean, a 5 cubic feet one should be absolutely phenomenal. You shouldn't have to really do any of this carving. But I did check it here with my dual regulator. It doesn't make sense to have just one. And it does fit in there just fine. Barely, but just fine. So, there you go. It is able to, you can do it. It can be done. A 4.4 cubic feet mini fridge can hold 2 cornies and the CO2 tank and regulator. So, I'm a happy camper. A couple of the tools that I used for this project that made my life a lot easier. Obviously a screwdriver. I had an X-Acto knife. This is actually what I cut the plastic with and did a lot of the initial carving with, and then I used the screwdriver to pop it out. I had an awl. This helped kind of pry under. You could also use just a standard head screwdriver. That should work out fine. Needed some pliers to rip and grip. You can't see the other end of it, but a vacuum cleaner was very, very handy. And then I did have to make some adjustments to the door after I took off this panel. As you saw, I sawed off the interior edge of it here to make sure that it had all the all the space it needed to attach onto the gasket here. I found that when I just screwed in just the gasket, it was real flimsy and I didn't want to break it. So I did that with the Dremel. Make sure you have a couple of the cutter tops, because I burned through 3 of them trying to get through this stupid thing. So, and then socket wrench. I had to use the number 10, the 10 millimeter socket to get the door to adjust just right. But now I can fit these 2 in here, and it's not a problem at all. So I'm excited to use this thing. So hope that's helpful to anyone out there who's trying to make a kegerator for home. I will be able to saw right through the top here and put in a tap at the top eventually. I'm just going to use the picnic taps for now because it's what I've got. So I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching as always. Feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, send me messages. If you've converted one of these smaller fridges as well, I'd love to hear down in the comments your trials and tribulations with it. I know that this, there were a couple surprises, and this metal thing here was quite a surprise for me, and just the little finicky adjustments to get it all to fit. But if you arrange it just right, it does work. It can be done. I'm a happy camper because I got this fridge for $50 on Craigslist, used, but you know what? I don't care. It cheap. I knew I was going to have to slice and dice and turn it into a Frankenstein kegerator anyway, so I'm a happy camper. So cheers, y'all. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.